Many people report that when they begin to practice self-compassion, they notice feelings of deep sadness, anxiety, shame, or even guilt. If this is the case, remember the important concept of common humanity. Many people, just like you, experience these same thoughts, and it's absolutely nothing to be ashamed of. The good news is that we don't need to get rid of the inner critic entirely. We just don't want the inner critic being the one driving our car, making all the decisions about where we're going and how to get there. With time, we'll move the inner critic into the back of the car, where the inner critic may make comments rather like a pesky backseat driver. But the one helping us navigate our route has a compassionate, friendly voice, and that's the one that's sitting closest to us. It's often more common to feel compassion for other people when they're suffering or are in pain than for ourselves. Let's take a look at some of the myths about self-compassion that may make it hard for us to practice it. First, many of us have a belief that being self-compassionate is a sign of weakness, or that it means that we're feeling sorry for ourselves by wallowing in how we feel. Another common belief is that self-compassion is a sign of selfishness that leads to being wholly involved in our own well-being to the exclusion of others. Or that self-compassion equates to indulgence, and if we're kind to ourselves, we won't get anything done. Do these three myths sound familiar? Let's have a look at what self-compassion really means. Self-compassion is the ability to accept ourselves exactly as we are, understanding that life contains the entire spectrum of experiences, emotional feelings, thoughts, and body sensations, including the difficult ones. Can we allow ourselves to experience the full range? Self-compassion means treating ourselves with kindness in the same way that we would treat a loved one or a close friend. Self-compassion is the act of being good to ourselves and making decisions that enhance our well-being. We often live with the illusion that life should always go well and be without problems, and when we're having a hard time, we think that we've personally failed. We might scold and berate ourselves or compare ourselves to others who seem to be doing a much better job than us. This way of thinking can easily lead to loneliness, to isolation, and to a sense of shame. There's some inevitable suffering in life that can't be fixed. The most powerful thing we can offer ourselves and others at these times is loving presence and compassion. So self-compassion, in the most simple terms, means being a friend to yourself.